Looking, that very looking is called forgiveness, it's called acceptance, it's called true love, true unconditional love.
Isn't looking the same as being aware?
Yeah.
Or is it an action?
Same. Looking is an action. Looking is you're always aware. There's never a time when you're not aware. But when you're consciously aware, okay, that's looking. You see? Now looking, we can do it, for example, you know, one of my favorites, and I think is the simplest thing to do, and if something you can do every day, wow, you'll begin to see results, I guarantee you, you know. In the summer especially, go out where it's, hopefully it's quiet in the beginning. After a while it doesn't matter, noise won't bother you, but in the beginning just choose a quiet spot and look at the sky. Just look at the sky until you disappear. Don't think about it, don't judge it, don't make, ooh, wow, look at all that energy, look at this, look at those clouds. No, nothing of that. Just look. Just there. Just look. Until you begin to disappear. And then when you begin to disappear, there's no one there, right? There's no one there to feel anything or know anything, right? So you might say, well, how will I realize my oneness when there is nothing there? That's exactly why. Because when there's nothing there, you realize that you've never been an ego. You see what I mean? There is that moment when there is just that. And that very, very knowing itself, that very movement itself of looking. You can look at a tree too for a long time, and you after you look at it for, let's say, 20 minutes, half an hour, provided you're not thinking, you begin to see it as energy. It'll come to you. This is energy. Just energy. You see? You begin to feel it. Who is feeling it? Not you. It's not your thinking that is doing it. It's a feeling, knowing inside you that everything is you. Everything that you look at is you. But the you that you've never got in touch with, the you that you cannot put words to, the you that you cannot define. But everything is you. You see? Nothing is apart from you. You gonna say something? Oh, okay. Okay, are there any questions? So, like we said in this, yeah.
So the terror of being free to be comes from the training that we need to be something, because that puts us in control, and good, bad, otherwise. And if we just let ourselves be with our eyes open, the terror is that the constructor has no job.
That's right, exactly. Exactly. That's how the conditioning is laid temporarily aside. Right. Yeah. The moment you say, I want the truth, really mean it. But remember that when you make an affirmation like that and mean it, that's a powerful prayer. That's what a prayer really is. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. The moment you actually make an affirmation like that, I want the truth, and you say it with strength, and somehow or other there's a force that just makes it present. Now it can be scary, because it might make you fall and hurt your knee at the moment, or it might make you maybe, I don't know, it depends. It might make you go for a walk in a place you never wanted to, or something like that. It might create circumstances for you to get that grace, to get that, but it creates it there, you see. But if we're willing to go through that, we can create an environment in which we can meet the truth, you see. And then when the fear comes, we just look at the fear. So, you know, there's nothing to be afraid of in life, absolutely nothing. Nothing. I had a beautiful email today from, no, not today, sorry, it was yesterday. And this woman, she's been a student of ours for a while. And she had a friend who was dying of cancer. And then she left her for a moment, and when she was by herself, her friend actually appeared to her, talked to her, and then she knew that she had died. You know, and she said, "Burt, this is you know, goes along with what you've been telling us, because you know, is there death? Is anything actually happen? Is there anything to be afraid of? Really, nothing." You know, sometimes we were watching a movie, a true story, and a woman was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and was given 2 months to live, and she's only 23. And now, of course, when you're given a sentence like that, only 2 months to live, holy cow, you know, fear will grip you like blazes, right? At that moment. I'm assuming that the average person would. And so you go through that fear, but does anything really happen? You know, you go to sleep at night and you look forward to go to sleep, right? Well, did you know that when you go to sleep at night, you enter a different world, a different environment, a different beingness, a different consciousness? But you take it for granted. You never think anything. Anything could happen in your life, but when there's no thinking about it, you see, there's no fear. It's when you start thinking about it, there is fear. So death itself, when it's time for it to happen, and we're all going to face it at one time or another, you'll find that you can, when you do work like we're doing here, you'll face it with equanimity. And you'll say, well, okay, now, let's go on another journey. You see, another adventure. You know? Yeah.
Is there a difference between illusion and dream, or are they the same?
Everything is an illusion.
Yeah.
Everything that happens to the mind is an illusion.
But
everything is a dream.
Everything is a dream, but
yes.
So they're interchangeable. Dream, you can explain to something.
Well, different levels. There are different levels of the same thing. See, when you dream at night, there is no observer. They're just the observed. Do you understand? But then you maintain a little bit of the observer so that you can recall the dream, because we can learn from everything that happens. So that's why, you know, this is an interesting thing to also look at. You say, but I cannot help being two. That is correct, because we need the two in order to understand the one. So life actually prompts you to be two. In fact, when you wake up in the morning, it brings back the observer and observed, so that you can say, oh, I remember the dream. You see? But in the dream, there is only the dream. There is no you. You experience the dream, but you don't experience you in the dream.
And in the illusion you do.
No, but still illusion. But you see, what happens is, because we learn from dreams too, but don't get caught in the dreams. You know, making a long list and blah, 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 and going to people who are going to decipher the dream, you know. Because if you get caught in that, it becomes another fascination, another game. But we learn through dreams. If you go back at night, for example, just say to yourself, says, I'm going to have a good night, and whatever happens, it will be for my greater knowing. See? Since I've been doing that when I go to sleep, sometimes Bhagavan wakes me up at 5 o'clock or so, and gives me some insights, you know. So it's been happening that way because I asked for it. Whatever we ask for, we receive. So in the dream, there is only observation, you see. And it's still illusion, because it's not really happening. But when we awaken, the observer comes aware of the observation. The two come back. Now, when we become aware of this process of creating two all the time, then we begin to understand. And this is why people keep saying over and over again, and pardon me for belaboring the point, but people keep saying, but Burt, I know all this. How come I'm not living it? Because you're still making it two. You think you're going to understand it. You think you're going to know it. There is nothing to know. There is only the feeling, knowing that you are. That's it. You see? it has nothing to do with two. It's the truth of you, the love that you are. It's the now, in other words, you see? In the now there is no two, there is only one.